So you've come here because you can't do a full pull-up. Well, don't worry, it turns out more than 75% of people can't actually do a full pull-up. And if you ask me, I believe that number is even higher because people like to lie when it comes to surveys. So they didn't get tested. The study just asked people if they can do one full pull-up, and 3 out of 4 people said no they can't, and the rest said yes I can. But considering that the pull-up is a very fundamental movement and humans are still basically monkeys, or at least ape descended, so it is a fundamental movement that is made for our bodies because we have been on trees, pulling up and hanging around all the time for hundreds and thousands of years of evolution. And we've been doing pull-ups since the dawn of humanity and wish to return to your roots. So today we're gonna learn how to start out at level 0 with no strength at all. And interestingly enough, I see this with trainers all the time. You don't know how to do a pull-up, you want to learn to do a pull-up, and they start you out on the pull-up bar instantly, and they're like, yeah, do a pull-up. So what the fuck do you mean I can't? Imagine I deadlift, for instance, 100 kilos, and you haven't deadlifted before. Do you really think I'm gonna start you out at 100 kilos, or am I gonna start you out at the lowest amount of weight possible that is still gonna help you progressively overload and build the strength so we can increase over time to get you to 100 kilos? Of course, and that is the exact same principle we should be using for bodyweight exercises, and this is exactly how we're gonna learn it today. And get to a point where you can do pull-ups like this. So let's check out the exercises. And before we do, let me just tell you that I believe in you. I believe you can do it. I believe in you. So for our first exercise, we're gonna grab something with both of our hands where you can put both hands around, and then we're gonna step as close as we can with our feet. Now, for some people, this exercise might look like something to scoff at, like, yo, I'm not as weak as someone who needs to do wall pulls, but I advise you to still start with the easiest exercise because from here we can learn a lot of things. For one, we can learn to lengthen our shoulder blades as far as we can, stay in a neutral position with our backs, and then pulling in using our latissimus and returning. You can also try turn your arms around and move more using your biceps instead. So we can use this exercise to learn to target the most activated muscle groups when it comes to pull-ups, which are the lats if you turn your elbows inwards, and the biceps if you turn outwards. Now, from here, we want to increase the range of motion and make the exercise a little bit harder. So we are going to grab ourselves a barbell at chest height, like so. And from here, extend your arms, move forward, and bring your back into a neutral position. Don't hang down, don't push too much up, neutral from here, and you want to push, and you want to pull to your chest. Now, the cool thing about this is the more we move away, like so, the easier the exercise is. So we are going to start in a standing position, like so, and just fall backwards, arms extended. Turn your elbows down, now you can pull to your chest. Once this gets too easy, one step further. Now, pull your toes in so you stay fully erected, so you stay fully extended, and pull to your chest again. Once this gets easier, we move down a little bit more and repeat the whole process. Not only is our range of motion increasing with difficulty, but we also make the exercise harder with each step that we step away from the bar. Now from here you can see I cannot move to my chest anymore. I have to be pulling further up to my neck. And what this does is it gives us more activation in different heights and in different angles and variations when it comes to our lats, our rear delts, and our biceps. Because sometimes we're more open, sometimes we're more closed, sometimes we pull deeper down, sometimes we pull higher down. So, depending on the angle, you're gonna hit a lot of different muscle groups. Now we can move on to the next exercises that are gonna target the exact muscle groups that we're gonna need now for the full pull-up. Now, next up, we don't even need to change anything when it comes to the bar or the height. All we want is to have the bar so high that when we grab it, we are fully extended in our arms and shoulders. Your butt is still on the ground though. You just want to extend from here, and now we're gonna pull and help just a little bit with our legs. Get your chin over the bar and sit down all the way. Relax fully, decompress, let go of every single bit of tension in your muscles, and then start all over again. Pull up and return. You can use your legs to help yourself as much as you think you require. And over time, you're gonna notice you're using your legs less and less. But before we move on to the next exercise, we're gonna have an additional movement, which is basically just so we get more flexibility in our shoulders. Pull behind your head to your ears and return again. You have noticed my legs are fully extended during the entire exercise. But what happens here is that my shoulder blades get pulled together when I have the bar behind my back, which is going to increase the mobility we have in our rotator cuff, especially in the external rotation, which is an amazing benefit to have during any exercise. And now we can move to doing full negative pull-ups. And for those, we need to start at the top of the movement, which basically means you're going to do a little jump, like so, and from here, do the negative movement by yourself. And then you can jump again and do the negative movement by yourself. Like so, jump, and slowly go into the negative. Once you've done a couple of negative pull-ups, now we can start reducing the amount of jumping that we require. Hop. And finding out how much we actually do need to help with our legs, so we can make the exercise harder on the muscles that we require for the pull. I reduce the jump a little bit, and I help more. Jump a little bit, and help more. Jump a little bit, and help more. Now, what I demonstrated here is a latissimus pull-up, or more of a back-related pull-up. What you can also do is supinate your hands, turn them basically, and from here you have more of a biceps dominant pull-up. What's also cool is that the bicep dominant pull-ups are usually a little bit easier because the back pull-up requires a lot of strength and a lot of conditioning. The biceps pull-up a little bit easier, and you can do the same exact principle. You're going to turn your hands around like so. You're going to make a little jump and slowly return. Now, jump and return, or tiny jump, up and return. What you've been doing with the last two exercises is increasing the range of motion that you can pull by yourself without helping, without jumping. And now that you have a full repertoire of exercises that you can use to build pull-up strength, you can finally move to the full movement all the way from the ground. Grab and latissimus pull-ups like so, or biceps pull-ups. Turn your hands around like so. As for the pull-up form, we want to stay as strict as possible, meaning we don't want to flop around like a dead fish. We want to use muscle contraction instead of momentum, and we want to do full range of motion, which means we start out by decompressing our shoulders and our spine, hanging fully. You can even pull your legs downwards, and from here we want to strictly pull up all the way, your chin over the bar, hold and return with the back in a neutral or slightly extended position. Up and down. And with this, my friend, you'll learn to do a full pull-up the easiest way possible by only using your body weight, by increasing range of motion over time, by adding momentum first and doing the negatives, and then over time decreasing the momentum and starting to work more with muscle contractions instead of explosive compensation. That's basically it for me for today. If you like the video, subscribe, and I'll see you all tomorrow because new videos every day. Captain Cairo, peace out.